Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Sarah, and in today's video, in honor of the Erin Condren monthly planner launch, I wanted to give you a video on 13 different ways that you can use a monthly planner. Now, these are extremely versatile. Now, if you're wondering why this is August, is because in my last video, we planned July, and so that's already filled up with what I am doing. So I just wanted a blank month just to give you an overview of what a blank month in the Erin Condren monthly planner looks like. I did order my new monthly planner. The one that I have does go until December of this year, but I ordered the 2026-2027 planner that just launched. But this is last year, so that's why there is the hexagon design and the same Erin Condren colors that we were used to. But the monthly planner does have the monthly overview. They are Sunday start. And then it has the dashboard page. So you have two boxes here. One has bullets, one has lines, the to-do box, and then this horizontal box. And starting with the blank page here, I feel like this one goes with this, so I don't count that, but that is one section. And then you have just plain lined notes pages. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and then you have the one in the back here. So there is plenty of space to do anything in these planners. It's kind of like a notebook calendar hybrid almost. And then you do get the typical, a construction truck wanted to drive by, sorry about that. You do get the typical Erin Condren things we all know and love in this planner. Just like a life planner, you get your mini months here and then your 12 boxes in the front. So all of that is the same. So I just wanted to give you like a brief overview. When I get the new monthly planner, we will go over, that part of it, the whole thing. But this video is just ideas. So I just wanted to throw some ideas out there because I know people are intrigued by this planner, but it's very open. So you can kind of do whatever you want. I think that might be intimidating for some people. So I am going to, this is in no particular order, but starting with the first idea is a content planner. So I have seen a lot of people use this for content because, again, it is so versatile. And for things like that in the monthly, you can go ahead and plan out what days you want your videos to post and which videos are posting on that day. So let's say Monday, plan with me. Wednesday, a Erin Condren haul. Friday, a sticker haul, something like that. You can put everything here so you can see your whole month, what you've posted, what you plan to post, and you can keep track of your content that way. Of course, you don't have to just be like a planner content creator. This can be for any type of content creator. If you do family vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, book videos, anything can go here. So this I would use for planning out videos like that. To-dos I would use for to-dos related to whatever. In my case, it would be planner videos like order new planner, place sticker order, edit videos, things like that. Then you can use the other boxes for absolutely anything. So I kind of use mine as a combination of things. So I do track my content in this planner. So I'm just going to show you what my dashboard looks like. So the couple things that I have here for content, I track my videos like film. Did I do the thumbnail? Did I edit it? Is it uploaded? What date did I upload it? What's the name of the video? Things like that. So I use this page to track that. And then I do track my stats up here. This is specifically YouTube because that's what I put my videos on, but you can do TikTok as well or any other social media app. But I do the subscriber start, subscriber end, watch hours start, and watch hours end. That's just what I choose to track. You can track anything, but those are the two content sections I have here. And then going into these pages, you can use these for a lot of different things. Some ideas would be to write out content ideas and do some sort of like brain dump, or if you have any brands that you're working with, any notes on the brands or the products or whatever it is on here. If you have any meetings, you can use this for meeting notes. You can use it for if you wanted to track different things that didn't fit on the other page, the dashboard page, if you wanted to track your to-dos somewhere else, I would use this probably for a lot of like brain dumping and writing out, you know, what I want to film and all of that and what I want to say. So that is idea number 1, is a content planner. Idea number 2 is similar to what I do, and it is a weekly brain dump. So this is a schedule. Ignore that. You could just use the pages to do things like this. So you can set up the calendar just so you have an idea of what's going on, and then you can set up a brain dump every week. You can write out to-do lists in here, things you're waiting on, social media. This is not filled in because this is this week. It's Monday. I have to go through this and do a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, this is sports. You can track school. I do that when me or my children are in school. If I can find. So yeah, here's another example. School, meals, waiting on sports, my son's school, a to-do list. So using this as a weekly brain dump is really helpful because you can kind of free up some space if you use a weekly planner and you don't want to clutter it up with a whole bunch of different sections like I have over here. This is a simple one just because this is a simple week. We're just prepping for vacation, but something like this, just a brain dump so you can get everything on paper. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be super organized, but it's really helpful. And then if you plan out your month in here, you can see each week, oh, okay, this is, you know, this is a really busy week. I have to cut down my to-do list. Or, oh, we start school this week. Let me write down all the school related stuff on the brain dump for the next couple weeks. It kind of helps you to plan a little bit better. So it's like a pre-planning almost. You can use it as like a pre-planning tool. So pretty simple, but that is another good idea there. Another idea would be journaling. So I know people use this, like I said, it is kind of like a notebook hybrid since these are just some line pages. So I know people do use this for journaling. Now that's pretty self-explanatory on these pages. You know, you can write down the dates and just journal for that day. This would be a little more complicated, not complicated, I guess, but this is something else to add to it. So what you can use the calendar for a journaling planner would be to write a journaling prompt for each day. Now there's a ton of different websites or Pinterest or anything out there where you can get journaling prompts for every day of the month. So you can write what your prompt is every day. And then when you are writing down, you know, the first, second, third, whatever, you can journal your prompt for that day. So that is one, another simple way to use it, but that is an idea there. So that way it's more of like a guided journal it's turned into. And I know some people prefer that, myself included, because I am not great at thinking of what to write in a journal. So that is idea number 3. Idea number 4 is to use this as a family planner. Now you can put it like in a common area where all of your family passes by on the way out or something like that. And you can put the whole family schedule in the monthly. So everyone's sports, everyone's work things, everyone's everything. So you can have that here. And then the next page here, you can do, you know, the family to-do list. You can do a brain dump of family night ideas that you want to do. Important tasks or birthdays for the month that everyone needs to be aware of. And then you can also, on each page here, you can do, you know, family favorite meal ideas, sports schedules, game schedules, school schedules, different home projects that you guys want to work on, just something that the whole family can access and kind of they can make notes on as well. That way it's kind of like a family command center type planner. That would be helpful. Definitely if you have older children that you might not be able to keep in the house for very long, if they have a part-time job or they have a ton of sports or everything, you know, everybody can just be on the same page and it kind of helps everyone's brains just like, okay, this is what we got going on. So I think that would be super helpful. So a family planner. The next idea I have is to use this as a work planner. Now, There isn't a ton of structure, obviously. Now, this is self-explanatory: meetings and trainings and whatever else you want to put on here, work-related tasks. These pages, this also work-related to-dos, you know, again, self-explanatory, but these pages I think would be really useful for things like meeting notes. So you can write who's in attendance of the meeting, what you talked about, any tasks, anything like that. These are open-ended pages, so you can write as much or as little as you want. You can split this page in half and do, you know, 2 meetings per page if your meetings are short, something like that. There is construction up the road, and I'm sorry that these construction vehicles keep driving by and it's loud. Anyway, so this, where was I? Meeting notes. Yeah, so you can use it for meeting notes. You can also set up one of these pages to track different deadlines, just so you can see what you have coming up, what has already passed, when it needs to be done, and kind of plan accordingly for the deadlines that are coming up. You can also use an individual page per month as a project tracker. Maybe you have a couple projects you have to get done for work, so you dedicate 2 pages, one for each project. That is definitely something that I would do if I was still working my corporate job. And you get all of those pages, what did I say, 8, 9, 10, technically 10 every month. So you can do anything you want on these 10 pages. You get 10 every month. So there's plenty of room there. The next idea I have, so this is, I believe we're on number 6. This is the goal planner. So they obviously have a bunch of specific goal planners on the market. There are tons of different kinds. But if you're looking for something a little bit more simple, you can definitely use this. So you can plan goals that you want to get done weekly, monthly, and tasks that need to be done for the goals you can plan out in the calendar. If you have specific days you want to get things done, you can plot it out here. Or if you have big events that may get in the way of some goals that you need to be aware of, so you have to adjust your weekly goals accordingly to the overall goals, there we go, you can keep note of that here. So that's what I would do on the calendar page. And then on these pages, I would definitely do, you know, whole list breakdowns of my goals. What is my goal? Why is it my goal? And some action steps to take to achieve that goal. And then you can go back and plot them out here. And then you can also break it down by week on here, things and ideas you can use to get these goals accomplished in the month. And then you can also set up a a goal tracking page. So how are you doing on the goals? Check in every week. How is it going? Wins, things you need to improve on, ideas for next week, things like that, just kind of to keep yourself accountable. So I do think this would work well as a goal planner. So number 7 is to use this as a small business planner. So if you run like an Etsy shop or something like that, definitely very useful. You can track things on the calendar like sales, and you know, if you're having a back to school sale in August, you can put that on here. Your shop schedule, you're going to be closed the 8th and the 21st for whatever reason. You put that on here. Your paydays, what days you get paid out for the business. And then for the pages over here, you can have a whole bunch of different things, like an idea list of products that you want to start offering or making, or future lists of things you eventually want to do if they're a little bit more, you know, when you're first starting out versus 5 years. It's a little bit different for small businesses. So future ideas. And then social media tracking. So how is your Instagram for the business, your website for the business, if you do TikTok or YouTube or anything like that. So any of the social media tracking, you can combine it into the small business planner. The ones I brought up earlier were doing content ideas and schedules and stats and stuff. So you can bring that into the small business planner. You can also track your inventory in here. If you do keep any inventory on hand, you can make a chart for that. And then also finance tracking. So you can track specific finances for your business. So things like, how much did I spend at Hobby Lobby to make these 5 things that I just listed? And then how much income did I make from it? And how much do I have to spend versus how much is coming out? How much do I have to hold for taxes? Everything like that. So then your whole business is in one place. So that would be really helpful, I think, for small businesses. The next one kind of flows in with the finances, and it is a budget planner, which is what I used to use this for. And I would get it out and show you, but I don't want, I don't want the finances on the internet. But in this calendar, I would track bills that came out or expenses, like we paid the mortgage and we went groceries, and that was $250. Mortgage was whatever it was. Electric bill was $150. We bought gas this day and it was $50. We went grocery shopping again. It was $212. Every expense and bill that came out was put on here with the amount that was spent. And then every category had a color. And then on these pages, I would do the whole monthly budget, break it down by all the bills, all the expenses and everything. I'm sure you've seen other people do budget plans. It was pretty much like that. And then a savings tracker for how much went into savings and how much came out. And then you can also do sinking funds if you're into that. And then weekly check-in pages, so you can see, your grocery budget's $1,000, let's say, for the month. Then you can go here. How much did I spend on groceries this week? Okay, $200. Great. So then you check in weekly for groceries. Now, for the weekly check-in, I always have not different, they're the same categories, but like they're not bills. The weekly check-in are things I track that I set a budget on, like a limit. So like how much we spend on groceries, how much we spend on recreational activities, how much we spend on eating out, things like that. And then you'd subtract however much for that week from your overall total, so you can kind of keep an eye on it. And if you're getting close to your budget, you can, okay, no more McDonald's this week, something like that. So this is generally used, I feel like, most commonly as a budget planner. So definitely a really good option for the monthly planner. Idea number 9 is a wellness or a fitness planner. So here you can track if you track weigh-ins, something like that, or your workout schedule, or again, events that would alter your workout schedule you can put on here. And then you can track on these pages. You can do a full list of different workouts that you want to try, a food log, your weigh-ins, a whole bunch of different fitness related things. If there's like videos you watch, or information on the gym or the classes you take, if you take any fitness classes or go to a gym, those also you can put on here, of course. So things like that I think would be really helpful. Then idea number 10 is kind of a weird one, I feel like, and it's very niche, but you could use this as a breeder planner. So my sister is a Maine Coon breeder, and I feel like this would be very useful for animal breeders. So you can track things on here, of course, vet appointments, or what days you paired animals and when their due dates are, things like that. And then, of course, with these other pages here, you can make notes on all the vet appointments. You can track medicine if they have to have any sort of medicine or surgery. So a med log, track your website, social media, the litter information and pregnancy updates and things like that on each of your parents. And then you can also do like a pairing page. So you can write, mom and dad and their pedigrees and all of that stuff. And kind of an update, so you have all the information in one spot. I think that would be really cool for breeders to use it for. And again, very niche, but I think this would be a really great planner if you are a breeder. And you can also, here's your pairings, here's what colors can come out of that pairing of animals. It doesn't have to be just cats. It can be dogs, snakes, lizards, rabbits, cows, goats, anything. So very useful, I think. The next idea is going to be just a regular weekly planner, drawing out your own layout and using it as a weekly planner, which is what I did this week. So I love doing that. Pretty self-explanatory, doing that every week of the month, using this as your regular monthly. Yeah, so using it, you can draw your own layout. That way you're not tied down to whatever layouts are on the market. You can make your own, whatever works for you. The next idea that I have is to use this as a reading journal. So you can track here maybe the book and the number of pages that you read every day and keep track of it that way if you're an avid reader. And then or you can also actually on this page track like what days books come out, if there's releases that you want. And then on these pages, you can track things like the books, the books you read that month, the rating of the books. You can do, you know, how many books you read. You can draw little bookshelves and write the name of the book in there and color code it based on your rating and things like that. You can do book challenges every month. There's a ton of those out there. You can track the genres you read. If you're doing like an author binge, you're reading one author's whole, I can't speak today, reading all the books from one author. There we go. So tracking that in here, but I think you can do a lot on these different pages here. So a reading journal is a really good idea. And the next idea that I have would be to use this as a teacher planner. So if you didn't want all of the structure of the actual teacher planners, you can use this kind of your own, kind of like making your own weekly layout. You can make your own teacher planner. So of course, you know, track your monthly schedule on here, and then the different pages. You can track subnotes, lesson plans, parent contacts, discipline logs, meetings, all of that different stuff. You can make your own pages for it. So that way, if there's something missing from the teacher planners out there that you would prefer in your own, you can just make it. So I think that's a really good idea to do as well if you are someone that likes a little more open-ended planning. And then my last idea that I have would be to use this as like a pregnancy/newborn planner. So like you can track the whole pregnancy and then the whole infant stage in this planner because it is a year. So that would be really nice. And I kind of wish I did that for mine, but you can do, you know, on this page, of course, how many weeks you are every week, your doctor's appointments, things like that, or the baby's doctor's appointments if the baby is born. You can put the milestones on these pages, like learned to crawl, learned to walk, smiled for the first time, things like that. And then on these pages, you can use them as doctor appointment logs, the different milestones, journaling pages. When the baby's born, you can use it as like a sleep log or a feeding log, something like that. So I think that would be a really great idea to use as a pregnancy and newborn journal. All right, so I believe that was actually 14 ideas, I think. I kind of lost count, but I think it was. So I just wanted to do a quick video giving you a whole bunch of different ideas on how to use the monthly planner since they did launch, and they are really versatile and really wonderful planners. And I know a lot of people are interested in them, but they're just not sure how to use them. So I hope that this video was helpful and gave you some ideas on how to use these planners. And I'm going to apologize in advance because we are leaving on vacation here soon, so there may be less videos up for about a week. I'm going to try my best. To pre-film, but I just want to let you guys know that I will be back after vacation and we will go back to filming our regularly scheduled content. So just wanted to give that little disclaimer there. But again, I hope you guys got some good ideas from this video. And if you did, please let me know down below what you're doing if you have a monthly planner, and if it's any different than any of the ideas I gave. I would love to know because I think these are such versatile planners and I love to see how people use them. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next video.